we got some juicy crypto news today, everybody. The SEC versus XRP settlement is possible, as the commission may not want to risk it all, a lawyer considers. That's one thing that we got for today. But we also got a very well-known lawyer, Fred Rispoli, who said this: the complaint is officially live. HODL law versus the SEC. And then on a completely opposite side, we have this: institutional investors have been quietly buying the crypto winter dip. Side note, there's actually also a massive amount of controversy regarding Binance and Coinbase, as Binance's CEO was basically throwing some massive shade on Coinbase, and that got him into a whole bunch of trouble. But I think that situation is clear now. Anyways, guys, make sure you press that like button for this reason alone. Let me tell you guys, I have spent over the last couple of weeks hours, and that's not that much, but I spent them writing emails, all right? Writing like a little nerd, writing emails all day to so many people in the crypto space, asking them if they want to hop on the show. And guys, I am very pleased to announce to you guys that all that amounted to nothing. But I actually got an email last night, I think maybe even today, saying that, well, if we wanted to, we could feature Fred Rispoli and I believe another individual on the channel, which would be amazing. I might be jumping the gun here by saying it on the channel already. Maybe the email was absolutely fake, I do not know. But maybe we got an interview coming up with a very important lawyer within our community. Because take a look at what they just posted, guys. Take a look at this. The complaint is officially live. Now, what is this complaint all about, you might ask? Well, as you can kind of read right here, declaration action that Ethereum is not a security. Again, the most important point is stated right here: a request for declaration relief that the Ethereum network and Ether digital currency unit are not securities or investment contracts under the Federal Securities Act of 1933. The letter, as far as I want to wait in explaining it to you guys when hopefully we have Fred on the show. Again, to make that happen, please show some support by just absolutely getting this video to over 1,000 likes. If you're just watching this right now and you're involved or, with XRP, or you're looking at the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit every couple of days, let's just show either John Deaton, Jeremy Hogan, or James Phelan, all these guys, even Fred, that we want to see them explain a little bit more about the situation. As I've stated, guys, the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit is crucial for crypto regulation in the US, and that's one very important part. I must, however, selfishly admit as well that I do personally think that for the XRP price, winning the lawsuit will be crucial. Now, this specific lawsuit is not only just done for the XRP price. It doesn't make sense that way. No, it's mostly done to put on the map exactly the status of Ethereum, exactly what was decided for Ethereum, exactly what the situation was, and everything around that line. The reason this is important is because the SEC is kind of wibbly wobbling around the Ethereum definition in their own lawsuit versus Ripple. And so by basically asking the SEC this question through an official complaint of this sort, let's actually just read point number 1 here. Plaintiff, a law firm that focuses on legal and regulatory issues regarding digital assets, requests declaratory relief in the face of years-long purposeful delay and obfuscation by the defendant regarding its jurisdictional authority with respect to this technology for over 14 years. The defendant has vaguely and ambiguously asserted its right to police digital assets as securities, yet has refused to identify more than one digital asset that it believes is a security prior to initiating enforcement actions. Again, it's all about the intention of what the SEC has done for what reason, and they go a little bit deeper into as well how they went after Coinbase and actually clarified a lot of other cryptos as securities as well. And I believe it doesn't mention XRP, but it does mention Ripple a little bit more down. A little bit more down the line. Okay, there we go. In another ongoing federal case in the Southern District of New York involving defendant, well, by the way, if you don't know, Fred Rispoli is also in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit, as I believe, and don't quote me on this one, Reaper Financial. I believe that's who they are represented by. I digress. Involving defendant affirmed two to two federal judges that Hinman's speech was the official position of defendant regarding the Ethereum network and Ethereum DCU. The speech itself and the many drafts and comments by defendant staff across different SEC divisions in offices deliberating the agency's approach to the regulation of digital assets, quote, shows that Director Hinman and other SEC staff used the speech to provide public guidance as to how corporate finance would apply to the federal security laws to offer and sales of digital assets, including Ether. Emphasis added, and that's again a quote from the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit, or a footnote added. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Fred is going after them. He has a whole little section here open explaining the SEC will continue to march towards domination of crypto unless stopped. After 14 years, Congress is not stopping it. Other government agencies are not stopping it. The industry leaders, except for a few, aren't stopping it. Sickeningly, some leaders are facilitating the SEC, but this is America, damn it. The people still matter. You still matter after Madoff, after Enron, after the great financial crisis. The SEC continues to fail at a near constant rate, everyone except its cronies. Worse, with regard to crypto, the SEC has compressed 20 years of its epic failures into 1 year. Celsius, Voyager, Three Arrows, Luna, and of course FTX. And the SEC was meeting with FTX, with Sam Bankman-Fried, trying to help that company destroy other US-based and international entities. Sick. I can't take it anymore. Yesterday, the law firm filed a federal lawsuit against the SEC in the Southern District of California on behalf of HODL Law. It's a declaratory judgment action seeking relief from the court that the Ethereum network and Ether digital currency unit, ETH, are not securities or investment contracts under the Securities Act from 1933. HODL Law, as a crypto-focused firm, assists clients with digital assets and utilizes them itself as well for business operations. Without regulatory clarity, the firm and me are subject to extreme danger and imminent harm given the SEC's whimsical prosecutorial discretion and purposeful weaponized ambiguity on whether it considers ETH a security, and I look forward to seeing the SEC in court. Now, lastly, if you go to HODL Law's website, you'll see a wallet address for Ethereum donations. At this stage, the firm has an ample war chest to take on the SEC, so we do not need donations, maybe later, but not for now. Oh yeah, don't want to forget this part. Below is a link to the complaint. The SEC is now where it rightfully belongs as the defendants, which is funny. You might wonder why I'm right now on Max Kaiser's little page right here. At the end, he said, postscript, sadly, a pre-announcement tweet last night in my first known instance of being blocked. Max Kaiser, I will miss you. I'm not sure why Max Kaiser would block the guy, to be honest. I have no idea why. Doesn't matter. To not dwell on that for too long, the SEC versus XRP settlement is possible, as commission may not want to risk it all, a lawyer considers. What this one was all about is, to me, it's pretty interesting. There was a tweet a little bit earlier by Bill Morgan. Actually, that's a response to Adrian, but let's just say. Exactly, and nobody outside the parties will know until the parties say it has settled. That has to do with the fact that, well, in theory, the SEC and Ripple can come to some sort of settlement at any point. They most likely have discussed settlement multiple times in the behind closed doors. However, obviously they've not come to a conclusion, but it could happen at any time. Some lawyers have stated that the chance of all this happening has become smaller and smaller. But a person asked, man, SEC can keep on disagreeing, right? Or at one point, the emails get released regardless. This has to do with the fact that the SEC has handed over a lot of very important emails to Ripple, and we have assumed that they do not want these emails to be publicized, so that they are basically right now only in Ripple's domain and the court's domain, but not sent out to the public. This is all the history regarding William Hinman and the discussions between the SEC regarding Ethereum, regarding Bitcoin, which is why that other complaint is so important. But Bill Morgan replied saying, not necessarily. If keeping the Hinman docs confidential is a term of the settlement, that is why having them gives Ripple real leverage in settlement negotiations. And honestly, to make it easy, all you have to know is that if there's settlement talk going on, you don't know about it until it's done. There's a lot of confidentiality about it. And so the only point at which you'd hear that a settlement is going to happen is the moment that it happens, but it is always possible. Again, there are a multitude of reasons why both sides would want to do it. Ripple has said on multiple occasions they are always down for a settlement if a couple of key pieces are met, and the SEC, we know, will most likely want to settle. This is an assumption, our own thoughts, not factual. if they end up having the quote-unquote win with, for example, a massive money penalty to Ripple, and most likely if some details are kept confidential, mostly to resort in the SEC being able to attack other crypto companies on the basis that the information was not disclosed beforehand, basically. So then because of all the information that was kept hidden today, they can attack other companies and make some more money out of that or win more, whatever. To now go quickly into the whole discussion, right now there's just a lot of fear of Coinbase being insolvent. That's all you need to know for right now. I am preparing another juicy video that will come out a little bit later, talking about all these details because, man, is this story deep and is this story juicy, ladies and gentlemen. However, for right now, I'd like to say this. There is a very lingering threat of more crypto regulation, of more crypto legislation. Ripple CTO David Schwartz begrudgingly agrees with Senator Elizabeth Warren's stance on crypto regulation, and David Schwartz has gone pretty wild over on Twitter. There's actually a multitude of crypto faces that have gone wild over on Twitter, basically explaining their side of the story, which has to do with the fact that there's right now a ton of bad actors in this space that need to be weeded out. They need to get out of this space. But for a lot of regulators, it is just difficult. We right now, as the general popular, are trying to find out whether or not FTX had something to do in this whole crypto regulation scheme. But at the end of the day, we'll not find that out. We won't. And so all we can count upon right now is the fact that some heavy regulations are coming, and the biggest and most important thing is for them to do it right. Which is why I'm trying to get more and more people on the show that have some authority in this space. Guys, let's just go absolutely crazy on the like button on this video. I'm going to try my best to get some nice and juicy people with some authority on the channel. So just make sure you help out with that, and I'll report back to you guys soon whenever I have found somebody to give their say and give us some better update on it, because things are absolutely crazy right now.